Menteri Nambak Kejala Konrad Kesang Ma Ulaong baka jeng ong jong ubah Vincent Pala Presiden jangka Meklia Pradesh Congress Committee baka Jingpynbeit Pud kali tandang peta bandio yo hotel kalong kejeng kran ke babakla bat kedai kejeng kran jong khanarit abakren kena petai khubor haka administratif uyang arjar arpuar Konrad Ulaong ba Poi Pyrkhat ba ubriu ubakat Ryngieng kat ubah Pala kran ye kebukum kini kentin.
It is unfortunate that a person at that stature and at that level has such a micro, thought on such an important issue like the border issue. Secondly, since you asked me this question a second time now, all I can say is that it looks like he is more concerned about the 5-star than we, because they never crossed our mind. That area, in fact, to be very, very frank with all of you, was never a part of the dispute. It was clear cut in Meghalaya. So there was no question at all. So whether this particular discussion or a debate or this particular talks, whether it went forward or not, the hotel was never a part of dispute. It was very clearly in Meghalaya. So there's no question. I didn't want to go into this kind of points simply because I feel it's not something that I think at a level like this, when we're talking of a boundary issue, such a personal issue should come up, and that's why I don't want to give more details. But my point is, it was never a part of dispute. So whether the talks went ahead or not, that area was always Meghalaya. So, I think the MP has got it wrong, and he has to do his homework again better. I just leave it at that because I just feel really we have more important discussions to have.
Haba pensya susu hagabili baka Jingpynbeit Pud baka Assam Konrad Ulaong baka di ke Jingpynbeit Pud kadi ka balek baka lenti ke bejrong bah ka balayat lang baru jengkat bagi regional committee ke jing kendu ikisnong kita war kumjuru ke Jingpynbeit bad kipai ba hagaju ka por Ulaong mana kalian kasakat jala haswa baka sim yang nekarai kalian kendu ulu ikipai ba ikinong ilam sinong gene ilam hima bad kumjuru ikisang halang bak kisang sang pertai hagajala.
We have had consultations with almost all traditional heads, and we have had discussion even with the district councils. When this entire meeting and discussions were held at the regional committee levels, members of district councils were present. Even the traditional heads were present. So at every step along the way, they have been part of the discussions. Now, concerning the stand that they take, I have nothing to say in the stand that they have because everybody has a right to take the stand. But we have tried to figure out a solution here which we strongly felt cannot be done if we were to stick to the original process of going with only the documentation and historical facts and different maps that were there. I'm not saying they're not important. They are very important because that's what history is, and that's what our forefathers have given us. So it is important. It's not that it's not important. But what we are trying to do here is trying to find a solution to a problem. And a complicated issue like this cannot be solved by us putting documents on the table or them putting documents on the table. We have been mentioning from day one that this is not a division between countries. This is simply a boundary or administrative control within a country of India. Therefore, yes, as a government and as an individual, we would want that all the entire map that we submitted should come to us. But we need to realize that practically speaking, that will not be possible because Assam will have more documents and maps than we do because initially Meghalaya was drawn out of Assam. So my point here being is that everybody and the HIMAs and other organizations, they have a right to take their stand. If they wish to go to the judiciary, that is what the judiciary is for. But we are very clear that we have done what we had to do, keeping in mind the interests of the people and ensuring that the best solution could be reached. And we felt after all the exercise we did that we needed to look at the will of the people in that area. And based on the will of the people, we had to move forward and find a solution. So the principles were slightly, I should say, expanded. And once the principles were expanded and broadened, certain other principles came in, and that's when we took this decision. So therefore, if we were to stick to the original maps and documentation, I think we would never be able to resolve the problem, and we would still be having meetings and coming out with the conclusion of maintaining status quo. But that is not a solution. So therefore, we had to take a stand, we took a stand, and we went ahead, keeping in mind the larger interest and keeping in mind that at some point in time, we need to find a solution to this very, very vexed issue, which was causing a lot of inconvenience to the people, especially living in the border area.